Good afternoon, everybody. Feel like it's been a little while here, but welcome back into LTL. Let's Talk Live here on the LTL Media Channel. Nice to see everybody this afternoon. Good to see everybody. Going to do a little bit of a different time slot here today, just experimenting and trying some things out. Nice to see the Ghost Squad in here. We have Ghost Squad members. Everybody's quacking. That's the new thing around here. Let's quack everything. Nice to see everybody. I just want to be upfront and transparent right out of the gate. I think that a lot of people thought that Jess was coming on with me today. She is not. She is not coming on with me, but we're going to review her article from December 28th, 2023, because it kind of comes back full circle now, knowing about the extraction report that was done on Lindsay's phone right around the time 2 weeks before Aiden had got arrested. I have a little bit of a presentation today that we're going to bring up. And the most important thing is that I want everybody to understand and keep note of dates. That is the most important thing in all of this. And then at the end here, I have a little how they're all in cahoots with each other. We'll pull that up. And if you haven't seen this article, I think it's going to be great to go back through it, because you're going to see how Ken Mello is going to present himself in this article, which is a bunch of bullshit, because he already knew weeks prior to when Jess reached out to him and did this interview with him of everything that was going on behind Aiden's back. So I think it's going to be interesting to go through it today. If you haven't seen the article, we're going to go through that. And I also have Jess actually posted on Twitter all the audio clips from Ken Mello's interview, and we can play through those as well. So let's get started here today. I love this. Mello should sit down, shut up, and do the right thing. I completely agree. And we're going to work through this today, because there are a lot of dates and times. And I have something at the end here I think is pretty funny, where I'm kind of interconnecting all of the major players in part in here. And if I get it wrong, maybe we can correct it today and make sure we have it corrected for the record. And we'll get this out there and I'll post it up. But I want to let everybody know, as we do these streams, we'll pull this up today. So hang on one second. Let me get my presentation. A little off. I feel like I haven't done a show in a while. Feel a little rusty, but we're coming back. Give me 2 seconds here. Let's do this. Little rusty. Let's do this. I'm gonna remove that. And give me 2 seconds. Just want to pull my presentation up. Nothing like making the chat wait, right? Wait for me, everybody. All right. Sometimes we're a little off. All right. I think I'm good now. All right. Let's do this. All right. Let's pull up my presentation here. And all right. We got the presentation up on the big board. All right. So it is a trap. It's a trap. It is a trap. And what I want everybody to pay attention to here is the most important date before we go into this, is this date right here. Keep in mind, and this is Jess Machado's article. We're going to go through that today. But I want you to keep in mind of this date right here, December 28th, 2023, 9 months ago. That's when Jess Machado reached out and spoke with Ken Mello. All right. So let's do this. Let me bring my presentation up. All right. It's a trap. It is a trap. All right. Now we get into the extraction report. And again, I want you to pay attention to dates here. I'm going to read through this. So in April 2024, Mr. Mello provided the defense with an extraction report of Ms. Gattani's cellular phone. On July 11, 2024, after the defense expressed concerns about the completeness of the report, Mr. Cargrove assured that the court and the defense that whatever the communications are, they're all turned over. Okay, we're getting to that date that is very important. However, notwithstanding Miss Catani acknowledgement that she communicated via text with Tully and Mello and then deleted a message from the extraction report does not contain any of the text messages between Miss Catani, Tully, Mr. Mello, except for Catani sent to Tully right here, 10:48 p.m. on December 23rd, 2023. The stage is already getting set. Okay. That extraction report and that text message. Ken said to call you, but I can't now. Mr. Carney, Aiden, Turtleboy, is knocking on the bathroom door. I have to go back out. Please don't call or text and tell Ken not to because he wants to see my phone. I'm deleting your calls and text messages right now. Do not respond unless you hear from me. Nor does the extraction report provide the defense include media file Gendusto sent to Gattani during the text message exchanged a few weeks prior to Carney's arrest. This media file appeared to have played a significant role in Gattani's effort to have Mello make her a witness against Carney. So remember the dates, December 23rd. We're going to go on here. Now, look, you're going back earlier. On December 9th, 2023, Miss Gattani reached out to Miss Gendusto specifically because she knew Gendusto despised Mr. Carney around the same time Gattani was becoming to communicate regularly with Kate Peters. Another individual said that she was an outspoken enemy of Carney on the evening of, again, another date. So we were back December 9th, we have December 11th, and we've already heard December 23rd. This is almost a full month. A full month, this is all starting to brew. 2 weeks before Mr. Carney's arrest, the alleged intimidating witness of Gattani and Miss Gattani engaged in the following text exchange. Now, we've all read through this. We've seen this. I'm not going to play through it too much here. I know similar streams have done this. I'm not going to read through all this. I'm more concerned with the dates. I want everybody to keep an eye on the dates. We have December 9th, we have the 11th, and we have the 23rd, and then Jess Machado's article on the 28th. We move through again. Now it's talking about, let's see, we have the date of December 23rd. So, Gendusto puts Gattani in direct contact with Mello, then placed, directly with him and Miss Gattani and Mr. Carney, and then placed Miss Gattani in direct contact with Mello weeks before December 23rd, 2023. Peter's response to Gattani messages implicitly disappear from the extraction report on December 14th, another date. After Miss Gattani texts Miss Peters that she met with Tully and wanted to discuss with me meeting with her. Now we'll move on again. So now we have everybody in cahoots. I'm trying to kind of like outline this here. I probably have some missing connections, but you have the Turtleboy Gattani connection. You have Gattani and Peters talking. Gattani reaches out to Gendusto. That now puts her, Lindsay, in contact with Tully and Mello. And now all of them on the bottom are connected. They're all speaking. I probably have something off a little bit. Obviously, we know Turtleboy's spoke with Kate Peters before, has done articles on Gendusto, but I wanted to put this little graph together. This is kind of how it all kind of outlined out here. But you can see almost 30 days out, starting back on the 9th in December, this had already been brewing. This was already ready. And that's why I find it almost comical when you're going to hear the responses from Mello during Jess Machado's interview with him. And he's basically saying, oh, I only had a heads up like a couple of days before. No, you knew about this way back in December, and you knew what was going on because you were planning all this. You were planning all this to get Aiden arrested. And it's funny because you have all the major players here of what? All the people that are involved in the Karen Reed case. all the bad players in the Karen Reed case. So, yeah, 6 degrees of Karen Reed. Exactly. It's absolutely insane. Again, I have to go back through this kind of arrowing everybody up because I probably missed something here. I literally did this like 5 minutes before I came on air. This is what was taking me forever. But I want to go back and actually get this correct, and I'll post it up for everybody so you can share this. But yeah, it's like, how many links are they all connected to Kevin Bacon? It's like 6 degrees. I still love this. I think this is great. 6 degrees of Karen Reed. I mean, this is what this is. But let's share Jess's article. I want to go through it. That was kind of the purpose of going through this, because it all came full circle. It all came full circle in all of this. And I love it. I love Jess Machado's reporting is brilliant. And it just, I know when these extraction report, when this came out and was released, I know Jess was just like, mwah, because it came back full circle. And you can see that everybody was just literally in cahoots together. So let's pull up Jess's article. If you haven't seen this, we're going to go through this today. I never ever want to visit cahoots. Right. I mean, everybody's brain's hurting over this, and it is absolutely insane. But I don't know if anybody got to read this. This is how I actually got to meet Jess Machado. I reached out to her. I thought this was a brilliant article. She didn't hold back, asked amazing questions, and I commended her on it. And that's how I started to build my relationship with Jess, my friendship with her. And, I've always said she's a great reporter, and she was fairly new at the Fall River Reporter at this time. And you're going to hear that in her audio file when she did interview Mello, and we'll play through that. Let me just turn this fan on. It's a little warm in the room today. A little warm. All right. So let's do this. By the show of ones and twos, how many people in here have actually read this and gone through this article before? If you have, give me a 1. If you haven't, give me a 2. I'd love to know. All right, let's go through this. So Turtleboy special and this is back on December 28, 2023. So we have now an idea of what happened all prior to this interview. And I almost laughed when I went back and looked at this. So from Jess Machado, Fall River Reporter, Turtleboy special prosecutor Ken Mello speaks with Fall River Reporter. And Jess actually posted up her message to Ken and was like, hey, I'm from the Fall River Reporter. My name's Jess Machado. What did I say? 1, have you, I forgot. Have you read through this before? I said a 1. If you haven't, put a 2. 2 if you haven't. Okay. So I think everybody hasn't seen this already, which is good, right? Did I get that right? Did I say 1 if you saw this before, you read through this before, and 2 if you didn't? I just messed up. But if you haven't, this is good. Okay. So Jess was still fairly new at Fall River Reporter. She posted up a screenshot. Correct. All right, good. I said I'm a little off today. And Jess actually said to Ken, hey, I'm new here at the Fall River Reporter. I want to ask some questions to you about, the recent arrest of Eden Carney. So, okay. So here we go. Turtleboy special prosecutor Ken Mello speaks with the Fall River Reporter. And what I'll do is I'll drop the link in the chat if you want to read this without my commentary or my read through. So December 28, 2023, the special prosecutor in Eden Carney, aka Turtleboy case, agreed to speak with us today on a recent charges against Carney, why he thinks Turtleboy should remain in jail, and what this means for Karen Reed's case. All right. I don't know, like everybody's like off today, right? It's like a weird day, right? I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. Maybe we need some weirdness today. So how did you get selected for the job? And what is the difference between a regular prosecutor and a special prosecutor? I received a call from the district attorney, Michael Morrissey's office out of Norfolk County. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. After the fact, I mean, right there. Yeah. Okay. Of course you did. Because after the fact that on December 9th, all of this information was being fed to Mello behind Aiden's back. And this all got lined up because I'm sure Mello contacted Morrissey And they're going to try to play it off like, oh, well, yeah, I was just contacted. I was just contacted from Michael Morrissey's office. No, dude, you had a 30-day, almost a 30-day leg up. So immediately you're lying. So says, I received a call from the Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey's office out of Norfolk County. They're looking for someone with extensive trial experience in criminal matters. They called me and we met, discussed the matter, and I agreed to take the position. No, you already were taking the position. I got a couple of pop-ups here that are causing some errors. So it goes, they called me, we met, discussed the matter, and I agreed to take the position. Special prosecutor is a position that is appointed by the district attorney's office when there is a potential conflict of issues that have occurred. Here, we had Mr. Carney attacking members of the district attorney's office on his various blogs. So the office thought it had been appropriate to get someone who had not been on the receiving end of that, if you will. My function is completely independent. I love this too. My function is completely independent of the district attorney. I do not need approval for anything that I need to do. It was already set up. This was already set up. This was like 28 days in motion already. There had already been conversations back and forth that Lindsay was feeding Mello and Tully. And you don't think that Mello already talked to Morrissey to work something out to be the special investigator or special prosecutor in Aiden's case? You got to be kidding me. This is already full of lies. Thomas, thank you so much for the $2. Says Morrissey is the love child of Tip O'Neill and Ted Kennedy. So this is already pre-planned, because if you look at the extraction report and you look at the answers that he's giving on the 28th, you don't think that Mello wasn't feeding all this information to Morrissey, and then Morrissey's going to turn around and go, yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put you in as special prosecutor because you've already been brought into this. You already know what's going on, and we'll just hide everything and lie about it and bag Aiden up against the wall, and then he's got nothing. We'll make everything disappear. You can work with Lindsay on this one. That's what was going on. And then you have Tully that's connected to the Karen Reed case. I mean, this is nuts. And like I said, we go back to 6 degrees of Karen Reed. Yeah, it's super nuts, right? This is all set up. So we go on. So Carney had several counts in district court, and then additional counts that were removed by the Superior Court this past Friday. How did that get moved to Superior Court? And by the way, Thomas, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. It says, I presented the case to the grand jury on various charges, and the grand jury reviewed the case. As is the practice, the district attorney then leaves the room, and the grand jury then deliberates on whether there is not probable cause, and they find probable cause on those particular counts. There were numerous charges count on intimidating a witness, conspiracy, intimidating a witness, and parading in front of a witness. We allege that Mr. Carney engages in those acts, which are under Criminal Chapter 268, Section A13 and 13B. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And that's why I say they were all in cahoots before Aiden was arrested and after this article comes out. Now remember, this is on December 28th. If you're just coming in, the trail of Mello, Gattani, Tully, Morrissey all started around December 9th. So they were all in on this. So his team said that the Friday court appearance was a win because the judge removed the parameters of the no contact order that had been put in place previously. Did you interpret it that way? We did not interpret it at all. Under the abundance of caution, we asked the judge to impose some restrictions, and the judge did not think he had an attorney, had the authority, to do that, and declined to do that, which was okay with us because essentially any violation of the law would trigger bail revocation. No difference than the conditions that had been imposed on those conditions had been violated. Based on Mr. Carney's prior activities, we don't think it would be long before he would cross the line again. Based upon Mr. Carney's prior activities, we didn't think it would be long before he would cross that line again. Keep in mind, this is all being set up starting on December 9th. Aiden gets arrested. This article is published and put out on the 28th. They almost had a 30-day start lead to add this all into the mix and pin it against Aiden and make up the lies and pin this as he's this witness intimidator. Let's nail this guy to the wall. Let's shut him up because he's talking about the Karen Reed case. He's exposing the truth and putting this out, putting all the information out there via his YouTube channel, via his blogs, talking to other media sources. Let's shut him up. That's all this is about. Let's get him in jail. Let's put him away. Let's scare him. Let's use the scare tactics. You think he's going to fucking back down? He ain't backing down. What did he do? 30 days came out and got stronger and got his message out to more people. And his reach got further and he grew in popularity because people started understanding and seeing the truth. You're never going to be able to silence that guy. All right, let's go on here. This is crazy. Let's see. No different that the condition would be imposed on those conditions would be violated. Based on Mr. Carney's prior activities, we didn't think that it would be long before he crossed that line again. He seemed to be more brazen after he left court on Friday. In fact, the following day, he begun intimidating. Were you notified of the bolo? Be on the lookout. Yes, as soon as it was issued. Yes. Do you know where Mr. Carney was during the time of the bolo was in effect? We did not know where he was during that time, and our office was not actively looking for him. He had communication from him, but he was going to turn himself in on Saturday, but he did not do so. So he ended coming in on Tuesday. Excuse me. There was word that Massachusetts State Police were actively searching for him. Do you know if anything about that? If he was spotted, he was definitely going to be taken into custody, but I didn't have troopers out looking for him. You could have if you wanted to, correct? Yes. Was it because of the holiday that you chose not to apprehend him? That was part of it, yes. So when did his ex-girlfriend become a witness in this case? Aha. Witness? Don't think so. She becomes a witness in this case recently. We received some communication from her, and I had a summons served to her on Friday. So he's saying that she just recently came to him. No, this was all getting mixed, put together in the mix on December 9th. That was the first time that she started reaching out to Tully and Mello around that time, within that week. Because what were the dates? The 9th, the 13th, we had the 14th, the 23rd, and now this article drops on the 28th. And again, I could be off on the dates a little bit, but I think you're getting my drift. Let's see. So let's go back to when did his ex-girlfriend become a witness in this case? She became a witness in this case recently. We received some communication from her, and I had a summons served her on Friday. After our Superior Court appearance on Friday, she was served with a summons. So you're saying that your office had no connection to her until she reached out to you. Mello, that is correct. That is a bold-face lie. That is a bold-face lie. Bold-face lie. So you're saying your office had no connection with her until she reached out to you. Mello, I'm going to read that again. That is correct. That is a lie. Again, this, if you're just coming in, this interview was given on the published on the 28th. Here we go. This ex-girlfriend asked for a restraining order against Aiden. That was granted for 10 days. Is she going to have to go back to court to get that extended, even though he is being held? Yes. Mello answers yes. The audio recording between Carney and the female was released by Carney himself on his YouTube channel. Do you know when that was recorded? Mello, to our knowledge, that was recorded in the early morning hours before Christmas Eve. After he left Superior Court on Friday, the following day, Saturday, he went to the ex-girlfriend's apartment late night and the recording was made during that time. Jess, there were some decisions during the arraignment that Attorney Bradel sent private investigators over to the apartment of the female witness at that point, and that's Lindsay, and one of the private investigators, PIs, was detained by local police. Do you know anything about that? Mello, I have not. I have only heard that you have what you have heard about that, and I have no idea if that is true. Excuse me. It's crazy, right? I mean, the lies that he literally said, we had no, just said, did you have any contact? Did you have any contact with her before all this? No, that's correct. No, I had no contact. Lies. All right, so here we go. There are some people who feel this recent domestic situation was a setup. That this was just an act to have his bail revoked and incarcerate him. You said earlier we were pretty confident that he was going to violate the terms of his bail. What are your thoughts about this particular charge, that this could have been a setup, especially considering she came to your office with information first and was not approached by your office? Mello, we did not predict that this set of events would happen. We thought that he would be going back to other witnesses, maybe beginning his visits to their homes. We did not anticipate something happening with this particular witness. Jess, what's the next step for him? We're hearing that Carney could be held up for 90 days. What is your take on the timeline? Mello, we obviously have pretrial conferences scheduled in both districts and Superior Court. I would imagine that he would be held to those dates as well. In terms of how we proceed, how we discover to the prior defendant in the counsel, it is just going to proceed the course of regular criminal matter. Jess, do you want him to be incarcerated? Do you think he's the best thing for him to be in jail in respect to the Karen Reed case? And I got to be honest with you. I mean, I love these questions from Jess. They're hard hitting. I think it's hard hitting to a key player. Obviously, in Aiden's case, she's getting it all on the record, and she's not afraid to ask these questions. I love it. Absolutely brilliant reporting. We have no obligation to protect witnesses based on his conduct. We believe that only, and this is Mello, only to continue to protect witnesses is to have him held. We believe that he poses a threat to these witnesses. Yes. Jess, much of what Aiden does could have been covered under the umbrella of the First Amendment in his role of a journalist. Would him approaching or conducting individuals in this case be covered under those two protections? Mello, we view him as a blogger more than a journalist. That's so laughable. The type of conduct that he is engaged in does not comply with the standards of journalists have established for themselves. So we look at him as something other than that. But even if they were deemed as a journalist, his activities, I love that too. But even if he was deemed a journalist, no, he is a journalist. But even if he was deemed a journalist, so this is the but now, his activities are simply illegal. Being a journalist does not serve as a shield, allowing him to violate the law in these things that we can't permit to happen. Yes, the blogger, right? The blogger. They always say he's the blogger. It's not a blogger. It's a journalist. Jess, how difficult has it been for you to navigate these cases around the high-profile Karen Reed case? Mello, I have isolated myself from the Karen Reed case pretty much in its entirety. Oh, really? Have you? How about taking information and setting up lies back on December 9th to have Aiden incarcerated, to shut him down? Let's put him in jail to shut him down. But you're saying that you're staying completely out of the Karen Reed case, but then you're communicating with key officers that are involved in the Karen Reed case to put Aiden behind bars and shut him up? Really? Really, you've stayed out of this? Okay. So let me just read this through here. I have isolated myself from the Karen Reed case pretty much in its entirety, other than the witnesses in this case that are in the Karen Reed case. I have not had any connection to the case. I have no interactions with the district attorney. I have had no interactions with the district attorney in Karen Reed's case or members of their prosecution, nor do I want to. So you don't think that when all of this information that they were gathering, this can put this whole story together to bag, to try to put Aiden in jail, that he wasn't in touch with Morsi? You got to be kidding me. Of course he was. This is all so much based on lies. I'm going to get through the rest of this paragraph, and I do have a special guest here that I'm going to bring in that is going to talk about something, a big event that is coming up soon. Give me 2 seconds here. My attention has been given to Mr. Carney and to his activities in respect to the witnesses. We feel he is violating the law on numerous occasions with respect to the witnesses himself. All right, hang on 1 second. I'm going to bring a special guest in really quick because they have a PSA for you all. And I told her when she was done with work to drop in, and I'll let her announce a big event that's going on this week. So what I'm going to do, let me just back out of this. We'll go back to it in a second. I'm going to bring in my guest to add her to the stage, Lauren Rogers. How are you today?
Welcome. I'm good, Brian. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm great. So we have a big event, a Free Karen Reed standout that's going to be happening down in Washington, D.C. And that is, I'm sorry, the date, is it December 5th?
So it's actually this Saturday, October 5th. We're going to be doing more, though.
I'm sorry. That's what I meant. I'm thinking Christmas all of a sudden. I don't know why. You know what it is? Because the article that I'm reading from is December, but I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So October 5th, let us know. So let us know what's going on down in D.C.
So this is going to be the first of hopefully many standouts. And we also want to do like a bigger kind of protest style event, like what you guys did at the State House.
Right.
We want to do that after the inauguration in January because DC gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
But so probably like either end of January or February. But this Saturday will be our first standout. And we're going to meet right at the Ellipse and at 12 p.m. And we're going to be out there till about 3 p.m. And I mean, this is our first time. A lot of people aren't really familiar with the area. So it's kind of going to be a little bit of a rehearsal.
Right.
And, you know, we're hoping for a pretty good turnout. I know we have at least about 5 or 6 people coming right now. But, you know, the more of these we do, I really hope that we can attract more people. I think DC is a great place to put our message out there because we're talking, you know, the state level. And there's only one thing above state is federal, you know, so I think this is a really good place to do some standouts.
Yeah, I think it's great for a test run to get a feeling for the area. I think, you know, I agree with you. Everything's going to get really crazy here in the next couple months because of the election. You know, if you decide to continue these and say come springtime, there is something, I will make plans to come down there. I'll come down and hang out and do a standout. I think that'd be great. But, you know, I just want to encourage you all, because I know this is your first one. Do not get discouraged because it is going to take time for these to grow. And we've seen this up here in the Massachusetts area where it started with one simple standout, one simple handwritten sign. And, you know, the 3 people that originally started to do this in Canton and Dedham, and it's grown now all over the state. And now we have consistent standouts that happen on Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, everybody can go to the freekarenreedstandouts.com, and that'll give you the list of all the consistent standouts that happen. But I encourage you all, 6 is great to start with, and it's going to grow because once people start getting informed, reading about this, getting into Turtleboy's stories and vlogs and getting over his channel and learning the truth and coming back to these, you know, channels like myself, I think people are going to start learning that we have a big problem here in Massachusetts.
I agree. I think we need to get a bigger audience to hear about what's going on. And also DC is a great place to visit. So, you know, people make a little weekend trip out of it. But yeah, everything you said is spot on. It's going to be great.
Do you know if any of the Free Karen Reed supporters from Massachusetts are traveling down or not?
I'm not sure. Deanna and Jessica want to, but they're not this time. I know it's a little short notice. So But I'm in a group chat with them. They're trying to help us organize the future ones and the bigger event we want to do. But yeah, I mean, it would be awesome if you could come join us. The more people, the better. We definitely want to get like a live stream going down there so
Yeah.
people can tune in. But yeah, so hopefully we can get some more people down.
Yeah, let's stay in contact. And again,
Yeah.
I'm kind of tied up for the rest of the year because I'm going in holiday season. I'm in sales, so
Oh,
it's very, very busy this time of year, and then the election, so things are going to get a little bit crazy. But if you continue the trend and you
yeah.
keep it going on down there, let's stay in contact. I'll make some arrangements. I'll come down for a weekend and hang out and join one of the standouts. I'd love to do that.
We would love to have you. That would be awesome. I'm originally from Massachusetts my
Oh,
whole
okay.
life until I moved. I live just outside DC in Northern Virginia now with my husband for like 4.5 years. So I definitely miss the area, and it would be great to have more people come down here. And I like that I can kind of be someone that's central to the area to help organize it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then, not only, I mean, Washington, it has so many great museums, things that I've always wanted to visit. So, like I said, I'll make
Mhm.
a weekend of it. I'd love to come down, do a standout with you all, and hopefully, be able to do that. You show me around DC, and I think we could have a lot of fun. And it's standing out for a great cause. And I think
Yeah.
it's awesome to be able to protest that, get that close to the Capitol, maybe get some people that are walking by, some important people, senators and congressmen walking by and just saying, hey, what is this? Tell me about this, and get them aware, and maybe they can get some information to someone to help us out here in Massachusetts, because Karen Reed is completely innocent of everything that they're
Uh-huh.
trying to charge her with, and has a huge uphill battle. I mean, I
Yeah.
think she's going to be in a little battle here for quite a while, but we will not quit, and we will continue to stand out. And we appreciate everything you're doing, and getting these
Thank you.
standouts going in DC. Really,
Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited to be part of it. So I'm just glad that there's something that I can do to help the movement.
for sure. Yeah, and then it'd be great. I'm sure that you're in the Justice Facebook group. When you have
Mhm.
your standout, I know people love photographs. If you can post some of
Yeah.
those up there, I think it'd be really great. And pass them along to me, because I'll post them up on my Facebook page too. I have like over 5,000 followers on there, so it'd be great to get that exposure, get that out there, and hopefully get some more people that will join you in DC.
That would be awesome. Yeah, definitely. There'll be pictures and all of that. But so for the bigger event that we want to do, we're probably going to try to actually make contact with some of the bigger names in DC, like the
Hmm.
senators and stuff like
That's
that.
great.
We're going to try to be a little bit more of an organized, bigger event, more of a protest style. So we'll definitely be talking to some of the bigger people down in DC.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to be amazing to be able to see a free Karen Reed sign
Yeah,
near the Capitol. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Outside the Capitol, and bring awareness there, because that is the world stage in politics. I mean, that's where
Mhm.
everybody goes. And I think it's going to be really amazing to see that. So I think it's something that you absolutely deserve to be proud of. I think it's an awesome thing that you're starting there, and don't be discouraged. Keep it going. If you need encouragement or you need guidance, ooh, my voice cracked. Oh. If you need guidance, reach out to me. If you need
Thank you.
something, I'll be glad to help you out.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I'm definitely nervous. I'm not somebody that likes to put myself out in the spotlight, but or like, bring attention to myself. But I'm trying to break out of my comfort zone and do things that are important to me. And participating in this is important to me. So and I appreciate it. I'll definitely reach out for help, I'm sure, at
Yeah,
some
and it's
point.
it's funny you say that, because I said that same thing before I turned the camera on going on YouTube, and I said, I'm going to jump out of my comfort zone here. I have a lot to say. I have a lot of attitude behind me. I'm going to stand up for things that are right, and I'm just going to
Mhm.
do this and let it flow. And here we are. So,
Yep.
anytime you need any help, like I said, reach out and let us know about your progress and how it went this weekend.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. And anytime, if you need a voice, you want to talk about it, and you want to talk about what's going on in DC, any contacts that you made, stuff like that, reach out to me. I'll have you on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your evening.
All right, Lauren, thanks for jumping on. Take care.
You too. Bye
All right,
bye.
bye bye. That is Lauren down in DC. She is organizing a standout this weekend, and I actually have the link to that. It's so cool. Fucking Washington, DC, man. There's going to be a standout. How cool is that? Let me drop the link here. If anybody is interested in going, if you're down in the DC area and you want to join, I will share the Facebook event here in the chat. And then we'll get back to reading Jess Machado's article. So that is the standout in DC. That link there should work for you if you want to connect to it. And again, it's going to be on this Saturday, October 5th. And let me just look at the time that they're organizing. It's going to be a 3-hour duration. It's going to be out from Saturday at 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it has all of the contact information of where to go, who you can meet, who you can speak with. And I love it. I love it. I love it. That's so great. All right, let's go back to Jess Machado's article here, back from December 28th. And I want to thank everybody for jumping in this afternoon and hanging out here on LTL. You can smash that like button. We got about 778 people in the chat. I would really appreciate that. All right, let's finish up here. Let's see. Let's go back to Jess Machado. Jess Machado, but these two cases are adjacent. Do you have any communication with the district attorney's office regarding the other cases at all? Mello, we have made some contact, obviously, but it's been minimal. This is all lies. I do not seek any advance approval from the district attorney's office for anything I do. And that's the way DA Morrissey established my involvement. These are lies. These are all lies. This has been all pre-planned. And he's literally lying in this interview. I was strictly acting on my own. I was acting as an independent prosecutor. And that is the way I see my role. I have no horse in the race in terms of Karen Reed. That's not relevant to me. Okay, so we're going to make up a story starting back in the beginning of December. We're going to work with the ex-girlfriend. We're going to compile these lies, and then we're going to throw the guy in jail that's been talking, the key pivotal person, journalist in the Karen Reed case, exposing truth. Let's throw him in jail. But I had no prior knowledge to this. I didn't have any involvement in it. You did. You're lying. You're lying. Okay, Jess, can you predict how this case with Aiden is going to play out? How is this going to end? Mello, well, we are confident that the jury of his peers will find him guilty in the facts in this case. We feel the evidence is overwhelming. This is a domestic case. But it is also intimidating a witness. It's clear that Mr. Carney demanded her phone, took notes from her phone in respect to contacts. Hang on one second here. Let's see. I know that my name and phone number was in hand, written notes that Mr. Carney had made. The witness had taken the paper and took it under her shirt because he didn't want to take the notes. That's a lie. She had already been communicating with him. This is all a lie. Lindsay had already been communicating weeks before all of this with Mello and Tully. The violence that is alleged is when he struggled to take the notes and he shoved her against the couch. Jess. So she's willingly giving him this information that night and had a change of heart. Mello, as I mentioned in court, Carney is a master manipulator. This female is substantially younger than him. He manipulated her to his benefit. Mr. Carney wanted to leave with those notes, and the witness felt that she had been abandoned by Carney after she took some steps to encourage her to take. When she realized Mr. Carney didn't really have any concern for her, there was somewhat of change of heart when she realized that he was just using her. Jess, could this be a personal vendetta from her? These are great. And this is so great how this just comes back full circle, man. This whole article comes back full circle. Oh, man, I love it. Jess, oh, so good. It's so good. I'm so glad this came back full circle for you. that she wasn't getting commitment or affection from him, and she wanted them to flip the script on him and then called it retaliation. Mello, absolutely not. That is not the case. Jess, is there anything that I didn't ask today that you would like to add? All right, Mello, here we go. Just that the Commonwealth's goal is to protect this witness in this case. It is not that we're trying to stifle any journalism. It's not that we're trying to stifle any journalism. The lies. These people are entitled to leave their home without being harassed and intimidated. There have been warnings issued in the past by district attorney's office saying that these people should be left alone. Asking questions is fine. Chasing someone with a bullhorn and yelling they are a murderer is not journalism in nature. That is being an advocate and is being intimidating. That is what the people have had to deal with. No one wants to be a witness in this murder trial. These people did not wake up one morning and say, let's do something that we cannot be a protected class. Mello, a journalist is a certain standards. Some experts in the field have already made comments that Carney conduct his violation with those standards. We realize that there is a different form of journalism, but the line is drawn when it comes to harassment in nature. I gave my high school commencement address in 1974 at the height of Watergate, and one of the things that I addressed is how important it is to have the First Amendment and freedom of press. I don't feel that any less about that now, and I did. I don't think freedom of press is I think freedom of press is one of the most important foundations this country is based on. Simply because someone blogs and says, I'm a journalist, does not give them a right to harass someone and make them afraid and leave their homes. And Mr. Carney has done that and is not going to be tolerated. Oh my God. This is like the sweetest article because it comes back full circle for Jess. I think it's great. I'm going to drop the link there in the chat for you. All right, let's listen to all the audio clips that Jess released from that interview. Let's hear Mello in his own words. I appreciate everybody being here today. We got about 800 people in the chat. If you can smash the like button, I really, really would appreciate it. It helps get the stream out to the algorithm. All right, let's pull up. God, this is so great. I'm telling you, Jess just must have been like, mwah, when this came full circle. All right, let's pull up this here from the Twitter. And we'll hear actually part one here of Mello.
Thanks for taking the time today, by the way.
Not a problem.
Can you hear the audio? I just want to make sure because sometimes when I share the screen, you don't hear it. So let me just rewind a little bit here. Just let me know if you can hear the audio. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear the audio.
Thanks for taking the time today, by the way.
Not a problem.
Let me just pause that, see if everybody can hear it. Okay, everybody can hear it. All right, perfect. All right. Awesome. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Go Squad members. A little bit of an earlier show here today. Again, we're going through Jess Machado's article back from December 28th. We went through the recent letter that was dropped from Mark Betterow and the cell phone extractions of Lindsay Gattani and kind of lining that up with all of the bullshit that Mello essentially gave bullshit answers and lies to Jess on the 28th of December, knowing that, starting back on December 9th, they had started formulating a plan to put Aiden behind bars. And it's so evident and prevalent in this article from Jess. It's almost mind blowing. And it just came back around full circle. All right, let's play the audio clips here.
Thanks for taking the time today, by the way.
Not a problem.
So I've been following this story, obviously, from the beginning. And I'm not sure, first of all, I'm new to my job at Fall River Reporters. I've only been here for about a month. I do writing and investigative stuff for Mike over at Fall River Reporter. My plan is to just kind of put this into a write-up, pretty casual. What I'll do is I'll ask you some questions. I'll write it up and then I'll send it over to you. If I can get an email from you, you can take a peek at it just to make sure it's all okay before I go to print. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
My email is mellolaw, MELLOLAW @MSN.com.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get selected for this? I don't know the difference between a special prosecutor and a regular prosecutor. How did you get chosen for this, by the way?
Well, I received a call from the district attorney, Michael Morrissey, over in Norfolk County. And they were looking for someone with some extensive trial experience, criminal matters. and my name came up, and they called me, and we met and discussed the matter, and I agreed to take the position. The special prosecutor is basically one that's appointed by the district attorney when there's a potential conflict in the office in terms of issues that have occurred. For instance, here we had Mr. Kearney attacking members of the district attorney's office on his various blogs. So the office felt it'd be appropriate to get someone who had not been on the receiving end of that, if you will, and bring somebody completely independent in. My function is completely independent of the district attorney. I don't need approval to do anything.
Interesting.
She says
I didn't understand that. I didn't know. And I tried to take a look at it just before I called you, and I couldn't come up with an answer to that. So that it kind of makes some sense. You're not related to this anyway. They can't have anybody do it. So they needed somebody completely independent. So can you help me work through a couple things? He had a bunch of counts that were put forth. And then you guys went back again on Friday.
She literally just caught him in a lie, knowing what we know now. Knowing through Mark Bettero's report, the letter to the prosecution, we know that Mello lied. He's like, I basically had no stake in the game. Dude, you had a month lead on this. You were setting this up for like a month. All right, let's keep
How
playing.
did it get moved to Superior Court from District Court?
I presented the case to a grand jury on various charges. The grand jury reviewed the case, as is the practice. The district attorney then leaves the room, and the grand jury debates and deliberates over whether or not they're going to find probable cause, and they did on those particular counts.
And so that second set of charges, I think, was it 3? Those went in front of the Superior Court judge on Friday, right?
Well, there were a number of charges that did. There were counts on intimidating a witness. There were counts on conspiracy to intimidate a witness, and counts on actually, the statute calls it parading or in front of a witness. Witness is a broad term in the statute because it encompasses a number of different individuals, witnesses, court personnel, etc. But it's all the same types of acts that are involved. And we allege that Mr. Kearney had engaged in those acts, which are criminal under Chapter 268, Section 13A, which is the parading, and 268 13B, which is intimidating.
His attorney or his team was saying that the Friday court appearance was a win because they removed the parameters of like the no contact, I guess, that he had. Did you interpret it that way, or what is your interpretation of that?
We didn't interpret it that way at all. In an abundance of caution, we asked the judge to impose some restrictions, which the judge declined to do. Did not feel he had the authority to do that, which was okay with us because essentially any violation of the law and would trigger a bail revocation. Right. No different than if conditions had been imposed and those conditions were violated. We, based upon Mr. Kearney's prior activities, we didn't think it would be long before he would cross the line again. It seemed to be more brazen after he left court on Friday, and he, in fact, the following day began intimidating.
Did you? So were you notified of the BOLO? Be on the lookout. Was your office notified of that?
As soon as it came out, yes.
Yeah. Do you know where he was during that time? Do you have any idea? Because between the time that they were looking for him and the time he turned himself in, it was the Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, all day Saturday. Do you know where he was at that time?
No. We do not, and we were honestly not really actively seeking him.
Oh, okay. So it was really just going to be a situation where he turned himself in, which is what actually occurred?
Well, we anticipated that would happen at some point, so he had indicated he was going to turn himself in on the Saturday, but he did not do so. And he ended up coming in I'm sorry, not on the Saturday. I believe it was a Saturday, and he ended up coming in on the Monday.
On the Monday, was Monday or Tuesday?
Sorry, on Tuesday.
Right. So we said he was going to come in on. I know, me too. Everything is so like weird and skewed because of those 2 days. So do you know if there was, I mean, obviously there must have been some communication between his attorney and he while he was kind of waiting to turn himself in. There was word saying that the state police were reportedly searching for him. Do you know anything about that?
If he was spotted, he was certainly going to be taken into custody.
Right.
But I didn't have troopers out looking for him, no.
What, you could have though, right? If you wanted to, you could have done that.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it because of the holiday that you chose not to?
That was a part of it, obviously.
Yeah. He has small kids, right? 2 small kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know that his ex-girlfriend was going to be a witness in this case? When did she become a witness?
She became a witness recently. We received some communication from her, and I had a summons served on her on Friday. The summons had been prepared before us.
So this is bullshit. He's already had a heads up. He's already had a heads up since like the first week of December. Oh, my voice cracked again. Oh, I'm like dry. I'm really dry this time of year. But they've all been in cahoots. Like I was saying, in cahoots since the first week of December.
Was going to be a witness in this case. When did she become a witness?
She became a witness recently. We received some communication from her, and I had
Thank you, Tabby. Smash that like button.
On Friday. The summons had been prepared before our Superior Court appearance, and after Superior Court appearance, she was served with the summons.
So your connection with her was she contacted you first. You didn't have any reason to contact her until she reached out to you.
That's correct.
Right, and that was like weeks prior. Weeks prior.
In court,
man.
Just sidetrack. In court, was there a restraining order put on him for her? I can't get clarity on that.
This week there was, yes.
Okay. That was for 10 days. Is she going to have to go back in front of the court and ask for that to be extended even though he's incarcerated?
Yes.
Okay. So within 10 days, she's going to have to go back
Stacey,
again.
Fake summons. All right. Let's go to part 2 here. Let me stop. I'm going to share my screen. We'll go to part 2. We'll listen to this. And again, I just read one over the article. If you want to listen to this without all my commentary, hang on one second. Without all my commentary, you can just click on that link that I dropped earlier today. Just going to play through the audio here. And again, please make sure if you're not already, go follow a brilliant reporter on X. It's Jess Machado's show. That's JessMachado on X, and follow the Fall River Reporter on X as well. Jess is an amazing talent and journalist. And she's been a friend of the show, and I love it. I love it. All right, let's play part 2 here.
The audio recording that he released, that was a previous interaction with them. I think there's some confusion because it was released around the same time as this arrest or whatever. This was not what occurred on Friday. This was a previous interaction between them, right?
That particular recording, to the best of our knowledge, took place in the early morning hours of Christmas Eve.
Oh, so after.
Correct. After he left Superior Court the following day, on the Saturday, late at night, he went to her apartment.
Right.
And he stayed. It was after midnight when the recording was made, to the best of our understanding.
So I'm trying to get, okay, got that.
Thank you,
guess
Jessica.
There was also some
Appreciate
discussion that Attorney Bradel sent private investigators over to her house on Saturday, and that one was detained. Do you know anything about that?
I know very little. I just heard the same thing you heard.
I agree, Andrew.
With the investigation that Medfield was conducting.
Right. This particular piece is obviously a domestic situation, but it doesn't matter. His bail would be revoked. You know, there are some people that are speculating that this was a setup, his attorney included, saying that,
this is so good because it
this
was a
particular
setup.
thing here was just an attempt to get his bail revoked and have him incarcerated. Did you have this happening on your bingo card, like that it was going to be a domestic situation? Or, I mean, you said earlier you were pretty confident that he was going to violate, this in some way, just with his attitude post hearing on Friday. What are your thoughts about that, especially considering you're saying she came to you first?
Of course, they were trying to make him violate it. Of course, this was being all set up. This was being all set up starting in the first week of December. Mello already knew that Aiden was having interactions with Lindsay, and this was all being set up to get him thrown into jail. We got to hear what Mello's going to say about this. This is brilliant. Jess, your article came full circle. I love it. And it just shows how much they've all lied, and they're all in, the word of the day is cahoots. They're all in cahoots with each other. All right, let's keep playing.
Right, we did not anticipate this set of events to happen. We thought he would be going to another witness or beginning his visits to their homes, etc. That's what we anticipated. We did not anticipate anything involving this particular witness.
What's the next step in this process for him? I know that the conversation includes him potentially being incarcerated for.
All right, I want to go back and just hear that again really quick. Let's go back.
This set of events to happen.
Here we go.
Hearing on Friday. What are your thoughts about that? Especially considering you're saying she came to you first.
Mark down this soundbite right here.
Right, we did not anticipate this set of events to happen. We thought he would be going to another witness or beginning his visits to their homes, etc. That's what we anticipated. We did not anticipate anything involving this particular witness.
What's the next step in this process for him? I know that the conversation includes him potentially being incarcerated for up to 90 days. What's your take on the timeline?
We have obviously pretrial conferences scheduled after the first of the year in both the Superior Court and the District Court. I would imagine he'll be held after those dates as well. In terms of how we proceed, we have discovery to provide to the defendant's counsel, and it's just going to proceed in the ordinary course of the criminal matter.
So do you anticipate?
I think so.
How long do you foresee him? Do you want him incarcerated? Do you think that's the best thing in this overall case, the Karen Reed case? Do you think his incarceration is important to the process surrounding that case in itself?
We have an obligation to protect witnesses, and based upon his conduct, we feel that the only way to continue to protect witnesses is to have him held.
Let me get to this really quick. I love this. Spacey, thank you so much. She says they thought they could silence him by locking him up, meaning Turtleboy. Little did they know, the community took a stance, did standouts, and helped Aiden to keep his website and channel going. In your face, Mello. And we got the old middle finger thumbs up. The old middle finger thumbs up. I love it. But I'm telling you, this is why I wanted to go back to this after I saw that after the letter to the prosecution came out from Mark Betterow. I wanted to go back to this article. A lot of people didn't know about it. And it's just brilliant. I'm telling you, I know Jess felt so satisfied probably that when this all came back around full circle, she was probably like, mwah, it came full circle. So again, brilliant reporting by Jess Machado. All right, let's keep playing through here. Part 2.
We believe he poses a threat to those witnesses, yes.
There's a very good case for him and what he does to be covered under the umbrella of First Amendment, as well as his role as a journalist. It seems like there's a very fine line there. What's your opinion on that as far as him, approaching people outside courthouses? Would that not fall under, his job as a journalist?
Well, we view him as a blogger more than a journalist. It is
blogger.
The type of conduct he's engaged in does not even comply with the standards that journalists have established for themselves. So we look at him as something other than that. But even if he were to be deemed as a journalist, his activities are simply illegal. Being a journalist does not serve as a shield to allow him to violate the law. Intimidating witnesses is a violation of the
100%,
law.
Bob.
And these are things that we simply can't permit to happen.
I mean, you don't think that this article won't get referenced? You don't think that these sound bites? That's probably why Jess released them, knowing that if this is used in a civil trial, bam, I have the recordings. So I think this is brilliant. It was brilliant that Jess put these out too. It's brilliant that Jess released this audio for everybody to listen to. It's just so full circle, man. It's so full circle. It's so awesome. It's so full circle that you lied. You lied during that interview. You so lied, bro. You lied, and you just literally got caught in lies. Literally got caught in lies. Dewey, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, next time someone asks my favorite book, I would say Bettero's Letter to Cosgrove. Love it. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. It's Smoking Gun. It's Smoking Gun. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, that's what I tell Jess. You know, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. You never know. But I agree. Well done. Twisting the knife in the back, zero self-awareness, Mello. All right, let's keep playing through. Part 2.
Aside from Aiden's case and this particular recent arrest and then him being incarcerated, the Karen Reed case itself, you know, how difficult of a case is this for you to navigate through, just in regards to the evidence, the changing public opinion on this case? How is that case, you know, kind of matched up against other cases for you?
I have isolated myself from the Karen Reed case pretty much in its entirety.
Okay.
Other than the fact that the witnesses involved, the witnesses in the Karen Reed case, I've had no interaction with the district attorneys involved in Karen Reed in terms of their prosecution, nor do I want to. My attention has been given to Mr. Carney and to his activities with respect to the witnesses. They could be witnesses in the Karen Reed case or any other case. It's irrelevant. It's just involving his activities and the fact that we feel he has violated the law on numerous occasions with respect to the witnesses themselves.
So you know your cases are adjacent, but they're not connected. Do you have any communication with the district attorney's office at all in regards to this recent incarceration? Do you speak with them at all?
Well, I mean, they're certainly aware of it, and the detectives I'm working with are based out of the district attorney's office.
Tully.
So we have some contact regarding it, obviously, but the contact is minimal. And for instance, I don't seek any advance approval from the district attorney's office regarding anything I do.
Bullshit.
And that's the way.
We know that's all a lie now. It's in Bettero's letter, dude. You lied, bro.
District Attorney Morrissey established my involvement that I was strictly on my own. I was acting as an independent prosecutor, and that is how I see my role. I'm not. I have no horse in the race in terms of Karen Reed. None. That's not relevant to me.
It's such bullshit, man. And you know, I don't want you to take like my laughing. I'm laughing because he's lying. He's lying. That's why I'm laughing. But he's just lying. Everything is such bullshit coming out of his mouth right now. They were all in on this together. They set this up weeks prior to Aiden getting arrested and throwing him in jail to silence him. Chad, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's finish this up and then we'll go to part 3. And
let me just ask how you, if you could predict how this case with Aiden is going to play out.
100%.
How do you anticipate this is going to end?
Well, we're confident that the jury of his peers will find him guilty on this particular case. We believe the evidence is pretty much overwhelming. In the last instance, you had mentioned that this is a domestic case. That's not completely true. It's a domestic case, but it also involved the intimidation of a witness.
Right.
It's clear that Mr. Kearney had demanded her phone, took notes from her phone with respect to contacts. I know that my name and my phone number was in handwritten notes that Mr. Kearney had made. The witness had taken that paper with his notes and basically put it under her shirt because she did not want Mr. Kearney to leave with those notes. And obviously some things have transpired in the interim between the time he took the notes and the time that she took the notes from the table. But either way, the violence that's alleged, the domestic violence, was when he struggled with her to try to take the notes and shoved her, and she fell up against the couch.
Right.
That was the domestic violence, but it was completely geared toward her involvement as a witness.
All right, let's go to part 3, and then we're going to end this live here in a minute. Thank you all so much for being here this evening and checking out this live. I'm just really excited that this interview from Jess Machado came back full circle. If you're not following Jess on X, you need to. Her handle is Jess Machado Show. That's JessMachadoshow. She's on X, and you can also follow the Fall River Reporter. I'm going to go to part 3 here and then end this in a couple minutes. And again, I appreciate everybody being here live today. I wanted to go through this, and congrats to Jess for getting this interview because, man, it's so sweet. It is full circle, and maybe we can have Jess back on soon. She's been a friend of the channel, a friend of myself, and all the awesome viewers here of the channel. All right, let's keep playing through. We'll wrap this one up here in a minute.
How did she have your name and your phone number? So she was willingly giving him, I'm just thinking this over. She was willingly giving him this information, and then she kind of had a change of heart. She didn't want him to take those things with him.
As I argued in court, Mr. Kearney is a master manipulator. This is a young lady, substantially younger than he.
So she says, how did they, I want to rewind this again.
How did she have your name and your phone number?
How did she have your name and your phone number? How did she have your name and your phone number? Well, how did she get that information? Let's go back. Let's look. And again, I probably have to button this up a little bit, but let's look how she got the information. How did she get it? Right here. This is how it happened. Katani Gindusto. There it is. Kate Peters. Then you start banging out because you go from Gindusto, connects to Tully, then Mello. And again, I got to quarterback this thing a little bit better. But I did this, like I said, about 5 minutes before. 5 minutes before I came live. I tried to connect as many people, but it looks like I feel like I'm watching a football play on Sunday when Brady's drawing it up on the teleprompter. But I'll get this correct. I want to get this nailed down. I'll post it up on my Facebook page. And I'm probably missing some key players here in this, but I got to go back over it. I tried doing it really quick about 5 minutes before I went live so everybody could see the in cahoots connections. In cahoots connections. But that's how they started communicating. And I love it. He's just like, oh, well, I didn't know. I was called by the DA Morrissey's office to get involved. And, I had no connection to any of this. All right, let's go back and listen to Jess. We'll finish that up over there. Again, thank you all for being here. If you can smash the like it button, I really appreciate it. I'd like to get to 1,000 likes today on the show so we can get it out in an evil algorithm. All right, let's keep playing through here.
How did she have your name and your phone number? So she was willingly giving him, I'm just thinking this over. She was willingly giving him this information, and then she kind of had a change of heart. She didn't want him to take those things with him.
As I argued in court, Mr. Kearney is a master manipulator. This is a young lady, substantially younger than he is. He was involved in a relationship with her, and he manipulated her to his benefit. When based upon the situation, I think you can find the information publicly as to what.
Thanks, Mike.
Occurred,
appreciate that. Thanks for being here.
Itself, Mr. Kearney wanted to leave with those notes, and the witness felt that she was being abandoned by him after she had taken some steps
right.
that he encouraged her to take. Here, Mr. Kearney, when she realized that Mr. Kearney really didn't have any concern for her whatsoever, there was somewhat of a change of heart when she realized that he was just simply using her.
Do you? Yeah, I was reading about that, and I did read some of those interactions. I mean, could this just be a personal vendetta then, that she, wasn't getting, the commitment or the affection from him that she wanted, and then, kind of flipped the script on him and said, if you don't stay with me or what have you, now I'm going to kind of do this. I'm just thinking about it from that way.
Absolutely not. That's not the case.
Okay. So I think I asked a little earlier, but I just didn't remember what you said. What's the timeline on this? So there's going to be a couple pre-trial conferences, right? You're saying coming. What's the first one? Do you have a date?
I do, but I don't have them right.
That's all right. That's all right. Want to send them to me maybe, or I'll text you and you can give me the next one.
I can do that. Sure.
All right.
It's so great. And I want to go back to, and this is not insulting to Jess at all. Okay. But I think she played this very well. And I want to go back to one of the earlier chats. They said, I think they just thought she was just some, small time reporter from Fall River, because I love how she sets up this interview with him. Says, hey, I've only been working with the Fall River Reporter like a month. So I think probably he's like, this article's not going to go that far. And he just literally spills his guts. And then it comes back full circle. But the power of Jess and the power that she's built on her platforms and her amazing journalism, this is just great. It's full circle, man. It's so great for her, and I love it, because now Mello's been caught in like 1,000 lies. Mike Nichols, $5. Thank you for the super chat. It keeps the lights on here in the studio. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Just totally 100% underestimated the power of Jess Machado, and I love it. I think it's great. It's really, really good. It's good stuff. All right, let's finish this up, and we're going to wrap it up. And I think there's the trivia tonight over in Taunton. From what I know, I think Aiden's going to be live streaming it on his channel. So if everybody wants to go over and watch the Canton Trivia Night tonight from Taunton, Massachusetts, I would advise you to go over and check out Turtleboy's channel, Turtleboy Live. All right, let's keep playing.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to add to the story, or anything you want to add?
Is it tomorrow night? Tonight or tomorrow night? Tomorrow night. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's tomorrow night, because I always think today is Friday. For some reason, I told you I'm all screwed up today. I'm all off. I'm sorry. It is tomorrow night. I think it's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I apologize on that. I just felt like it's Friday for some reason. I felt like it's Friday. Yep, tomorrow night. I got it, everybody. All right, let's keep playing.
Check as witnesses in a case. It's not that we're trying to stifle any type of journalism. It's the fact that these people are entitled to be able to leave their home without being harassed and intimidated.
Right.
And that has not been the case. There have been pleas, there have been warnings issued in the past, the first by the district attorney's office, saying that these people should be, leave the witnesses alone. And it's not a matter of asking the questions. That's fine. Asking questions is fine. Chasing someone with a bullhorn and yelling at them that you're a murderer that's not journalistic in nature. That's being an advocate. That's clearly intimidating, and that's what these people have had to deal with. No one wants to be a witness in a criminal event. These people did not wake up one morning and say, "Geez, let's do something that makes us all witnesses, so we can be a protected class." If you walk into an establishment and
I'm reporting you by, what are you reporting my channel for? What are you gonna do? I'm literally pulling legal documents up and articles. I'm gonna report you. Okay. Bye. See ya. Bye-bye. This clowns.
Business,
clowns.
And you observe a shooting, you become a witness in the case, whether you want to or not. And as a witness, you're going to be called forward to do your civic duty and to testify honestly and truthfully about the events as you perceive them to occur. if there are people who are in support of the individual who was arrested and charged, and you identify that person and said, yes, this is the individual who I saw in the store shooting the store owner, whatever the case may be, because people support that individual who's accused, does not give them the right to chase you down wherever you are, to yell at you through a bullhorn, to parade people by your home and say, this person is a murderer, they're a liar. They're covering for the person that really did it. And that's what's happened here. And it's wrong.
I'm just thinking, if a regular person outside of a journalist or a blogger, as you say, chose to do these exact same things, they themselves would also be charged and prosecuted like a regular person.
Absolutely.
So he's obviously got a lot of followers. It's been kind of convoluted where some of those followers have also kind of been involved. They can also be prosecuted and charged. It's not exclusive to him and his role as a journalist.
Absolutely not exclusive to him, no.
Okay.
And again, a journalist has certain standards. At least your industry has established standards for journalism. And some experts in the field have already, made the comment that Mr. Kearney's conduct has
you have to go back to the beginning.
Those standards, if you will.
Right.
They're not consistent with the journalist. We realize that there are different forms of journalism, going back to muckraking journalists, or whatever the case may be, but the line is drawn where it becomes intimidation and criminal in nature. What I can tell you is I gave my high school commencement address in 1974, and that was at the height of Watergate and all of the issues that we had in Washington, D.C. And one of the things I addressed in my commencement speech was how important it was that we have a First Amendment and freedom of the press. I don't feel any less about that now than I did then. I think freedom of the press is one of the most important foundations upon which this country is based. We do not have conduct here that is like the press in nature. Simply because somebody blogs
excuse me,
and says I'm a journalist does not give them the right to intimidate and harass people and literally make them afraid to leave their homes. And Mr. Kearney has done that, and that's not going to be tolerated.
Attorney Mello, I appreciate you taking the time and answering these questions. You're very thorough. It gave me a really good understanding and explanation on some things I didn't quite understand.
Thank you so much for giving me this sweet, nectar that's going to come back full circle, and it did. Oh, this is so good.
And I want to be able to share this information with the public. So I'm going to do my best to write this up in the best way. I'll send it over to you for your review. Make sure everything is appropriate and it's got your approval, and then we'll try to get it out sometime today.
Okay, good luck.
Okay, good luck. Oh, I love it. It's so good, man. It's so good. It came back full circle with Jess. Jess, brilliant reporting. If you're watching this or you catch this back on a replay, always love having you here. Big fan of you, and I appreciate everything you've done for the channel here. If I can just ask everybody to please smash the like button, that would be really great. Trying to get 1,000 likes on this video to get it out to the evil algorithm, and to get the truth out there to everybody so they can understand what's going on in Aiden's case. Very, very important, but it's great. And I'm glad that we could go back over that article today, hear the sound bites from it, from Mello himself, from the words of Mello's mouth. We heard them. And he said, oh, no, I was just brought into this, a few days prior. This was a lie. I mean, this was being set up for weeks, and it's now come full circle. Marie, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. And I want to go back and recognize, because while my friend Jess was on telling us about the DC standouts, I forgot to get a couple of these. So Yuri's math teacher, thank you for becoming a new member. And then you also gifted 5 memberships. So welcome in all those new members as well. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate the support here. It does help keep the lights on in LTL Studios. And what I'm going to do again is I'm going to drop that article. If you want to go back and reference it, it will be in the chat. Please feel free, cross-reference it with Mark Bettero's letter to the prosecution that dropped on 9/12. I'm going to go back and I want to get my circle of cahoots together, and I'll post it up on my Facebook page so y'all can take a look at it and see what all the major players were in getting Aiden this false bullshit that was basically set up by Mello to throw Aiden in jail to silence him in March, so he could not continue to report on the Karen Reed case. But like I said, he came out stronger. We did things here from LTL standpoint on his channel to get some content out there. We raised a lot of money for his defense during that time. Will the Glare was on there a couple times with me doing a few things and helping out support. So it's all good stuff. And now Aiden's out and he's stronger than ever, more popular than ever. And a lot more people are tuning in, which is fantastic because he has the vice grips on the Karen Reed case. So that's going to end this live today, everybody. Please make sure to like, share, and comment down below. I would appreciate it. Thank you all for being here and supporting my platform. We'll continue to roll these lives out as they come with all this new information in the Karen Reed and Turtleboy case. Also, I want to let you know, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have a very special guest on here. My friend Collier Landry will be with me at 8 p.m. on Monday night. That live is already set up. I plan on coming back. Maybe on Sunday night, we'll do something there. But I would love for you all to come over and hear Collier's story. It's very interesting. It's absolutely tragic. And, I think it's going to be a good time to spend some time with him and hear his story. And he actually, back in 1989, testified at the age of 11 years old. At the age of 11 years old, testified against his father because his father murdered his mother. And he actually testified in court, and it became national and world news at that time. So, I'm looking forward to having Collier on my channel, and it'll be really nice to catch up with him. So that's going to be this end of this live tonight. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Caroline. I can't wait for it either. Collier's such a great guy, and I can't wait to hear his story. But thank you all so much for being here. Tomorrow night is Turtleboy Trivia over in Taunton, Massachusetts. I believe Aiden's going to be streaming that at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are going, enjoy your time over there. I can't wait to see all of the results, the photos, and all that fun stuff. It's going to be great. And support your local creators. Free Karen Reed. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We need to get 1,000 likes on this video. I would appreciate it. Dewey, thank you so much. $2. Thank you. Says you're a good person. Cheers. Well, you're a great person too. And I'm glad that you can be here. And maybe I can get Jess over here soon. I know she's super busy. Maybe we can get her back here soon to talk about all of this. But thank you, moderators. Thank you, Go Squad members. And thank you all subscribers and all of the people that supported this channel by sending super chats today. I appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on here in the studio. I love all of you. I'll be back soon. Have a good night and happy Thursday. Take care. Bye-bye.